Hi, Gail King from Looking to Make a Difference with Gail. This is so exciting. I can't wait for the show tonight. But first, a couple of you had asked, what have you been doing? What's going on in your life? I have to tell you, I'm excited because I will be walking in Fashion Week. On February 11th, I'll be in Wall Street in Manhattan, and there are going to be 16 different designers. On Valentine's Day, I'll be walking in another show for Anastasia, and Anastasia is going to have incredible designers. This is exciting because it's my 7th decade, and if I can do it now, so can you. Recently, I was very excited to be in Assure magazine, a fabulous magazine, and a lot of fun. Do you know what? Sometimes it seems so surreal seeing you in something like that, because this is me. All right, let's get to the show. Usually I will just introduce my guest, but tonight is such an incredible topic that I'm going to see if you could guess what the show is about. Let me start by saying that there are over 100 million songs about love. To me, love is the most incredible emotion of all. In 1992, Whitney Houston sang the most popular song of all, I Will Always Love You. Can you guess which is the most popular marital song? Etta James, At Last. All right, so the show has something to do with love, but there's a lot more to it. In 1924, the Smithsonian Institute thought they would bring a little bit of science into the mix. They wanted to make it a little more clinical. So what they actually published is that if a man and woman were to get married, they would check their pulse rates. They would check it during their kiss. And if it were pretty much the same, then they would be a couple. They also checked to see if they were excited. And then finally, they checked the smell test. Does this odor do anything to you? Well, today we're going to do a little bit better than that. Actually, we're going to do a lot better than that. I have an executive level certified matchmaker. Matchmaker is Maureen Tara Nelson, and she uses personal interview, intuitiveness, and a background. And I can't wait for you to meet her. But let me tell you a little bit about her. Welcome, Maureen. Maureen, I want to talk a little bit about some of your accomplishments. I mean, it's incredible. Not only have you been on NBC, CBS, HBO, but you also are on now K-Joy, which is a fun show with Lauren.
Yes.
And I love the show with your brother. Oh,
Thank
my
you.
goodness. Facebook Live. K-Joy is on Sunday mornings,
7
and Facebook
a.m.
Live is on Friday
Fridays.
evenings,
Yes.
okay? But I also want to mention a couple of the awards that you received. Angels Award, Power Award, and 5 years in a row, the Best of Long Island.
Yes, we just found out. I'm so excited.
Oh, and you've gotten before too, is
Yes.
I'm not
But
mistaken.
now they changed it.
Oh, how did they change
I
it?
think after 7 years ago, it's only the top winner. It used to be
Oh, it
first,
used to be the
second, and
top-
third place.
right.
So really, we're the underdog because they have it in a group of internet dating and things like that. So
Right.
say if
So this is a
guy-
big to-do. This is really
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you so much. We're so
Oh.
excited.
Now, you're doing this for over 20 years.
April will be 21 years.
So what is an executive level certified matchmaker? What does that mean?
Well, it means that years ago, and it's a very good thing, there is a matchmaking institute, and it is a accredited course now. So even though I had the best mentor 20 years ago, he taught me the whole business, and prior to that, I'm a former pharmaceutical rep, where I
Right.
learned really everything that I do as a from being a pharmaceutical rep. That's what I do with my matchmaking. But still, I knew that they have this course, and I figured, why not educate myself as much as possible? Why not learn everything there is? Because you could always learn. And I learn something every single day from my clients. So I had to go back to school, and I became an executive level certified matchmaker.
All right, so you did work for the pharmaceutical company, and you were married.
Yes.
Okay, and
got
then a
divorced.
dating service came along, and that was it.
I knew it was my calling because I learned all about narcissistic behavior, controlling behavior, and at that moment, that's when the service opened. So for me, it was just like an epiphany that I knew this was my calling, so no one would ever have to go through what I went through.
All right, so now an applicant comes to you, and you have them do some homework, and you have them do some things, and you only accept about 1%.
1% of people that are using online dating sites, and people who are fabulous wonder, you know, I'm pretty, I'm smart, I'm successful.
right.
Why doesn't the internet work? It's not them, it's that only 1% of people that are using the online sites pass our screening process. So it's just really, you're the 1% that you would have to go out with 100 people
In order
to
to find that other person.
on your level.
And I know that you cover in 6 months what it would take 2 years to find people and to find their
you really
interest.
do. I mean, I've known you for years. I love you to death, always have. You know everything about me.
Thank you. Well, I'm just enthralled with this, and I have to tell you, so many people want to know about it. So what do you ask the applicants? It's 5 characteristics. Share that a little bit.
What we ask people for homework?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's how I actually do the compatibility analysis with everyone. We start off with their homework so that they come in and they say what their 5 best qualities are.
Okay.
And that leads to my second area, which is my assessment of a person. So say, for example, if someone says, oh boy, this was so hard. It's so hard to come up with 5 great things about me. Now I know that person is modest.
Right. So you're assessing and you're figuring this out while the person's speaking.
Yes. So that's the second part, my assessment. Then the third part is if I take that person on, and I don't take on everyone.
Right.
There's, you know, no felony record. Everyone has to be positive, emotionally stable, so they know what they want.
Open-minded?
Yes. Yep. Financially stable or very financially stable. And everyone has to be looking for a committed relationship.
Right.
So if I take them on, then they choose a program, and I have 5 programs. So I really have something for everyone that is looking for a committed relationship.
Let me ask you something. What if someone comes into you and you love the person, and this is awkward, but maybe the hair comb, maybe the
I have
outfit.
to tell them.
Do you tell?
Yes.
How do you handle that?
It's
That's going to
funny
be so
because
difficult.
you know, you mentioned to me that MTN Matchmaking is a family business. A lot of people don't know that.
Yes.
And it's just so exciting having my family working with me.
Your sons, I know.
It's just so great. So
how do you tell somebody that, though? I mean, is it a picture that's not?
it could be so many different things, and the reason I brought up the family is because they can't believe the things that I have to say, but I say it from my heart.
From love, out of love.
Because the flip side of that is you can go to a service in the city. My colleagues, I love them to death. I recommend them all the time if I don't think I'm going to take someone, one of my colleagues, but and they can say, okay, we'll take you on, and they're not going to say that.
No.
But to me, I would want to know what I need to do to improve.
Absolutely.
And my clients are open-minded, and they want to know, and that's how I know I can help them. So if I say something, for example, it would be better if you don't wear that toupee.
Oh,
You
okay.
know,
All right. Something even as
you know, the shade look
specific
is
as that.
in.
Right.
It really is.
They're taking it. They understand why you're doing it.
They're actually amazed that I care enough to tell them
say
the
that.
truth.
Right. That's
Because
true.
obviously it's difficult for me to say it even.
That's what I was imagining. I couldn't.
But I say it with love that they
You do it
appreciate
in a very gentle way. And
Yes,
you're
of
doing
course,
it
yeah.
in a very classic way. Okay. Now you have the ages of what? From 21
to 91. So,
Imagine that.
ladies, anyone, I would
That's
say
great.
70s up, if you like bridge and you live in Suffolk County, you
can find him.
you probably will even be compatible, because at 91 years old, all the life experiences he must have would make him compatible to just about anybody. So.
And there's two elements that
Yes.
people will make.
Compatibility and chemistry. And that is the biggest roadblock for people when they are trying to
Explain why you say that.
Because people naturally gravitate towards chemistry only.
Right.
And then they have to hope that
It's so true.
compatibility will begin.
Exactly.
Whereas people don't realize it's harder to find someone we're compatible with. And as time goes on, over the years, I've noticed it's harder and harder just because of life dynamics and the craziness of life and everything that we're all dealing with makes it harder to find someone we're compatible with. So my way, I do the compatibility in 3 different ways.
Oh,
so
okay.
the first way is their homework.
Their
the
homework.
second way is my assessment.
Your assessment. And
The third is if I take them on, I do a personality test on them. At the
Interesting.
end, I
Very
don't need them
interesting.
for that.
Right.
So they know they're going to be compatible in 3 ways. Now they just have to follow the guidelines, hopefully go out 3 times, and see if chemistry develops. It is so much easier to find chemistry when you're compatible, but
So
not
true.
the other way around.
So true. How many times have you found somebody attractive and then later on you say, did I really?
Right,
Or
yeah.
personality, and the person grows on you. But I do hear you saying a good 3 times you should go
Yes,
out with, give the person
yes.
a chance. Okay, so that brings me to ask you, what do you not do on the first or second date?
There are 3 big no-nos. Never talk about politics, sex, or religion. Never. Never.
Keep it light, talk about the
Keep
other
it-
person.
Yeah, talk about each other's hobbies. Everything positive. Never be negative about anything.
Excellent, because people are nervous when they're
Yes,
dating. You're meeting somebody new. Sometimes it's, you don't know the
Yes,
person.
it's hard,
You're
yeah.
not sure what to say, but what you're saying is then essentially give the person a chance.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about online dating and matchmaking.
Big difference.
I was amazed to find that, as I said to you before the show started, $300 million spent last year by the over 60 group trying to find that perfect person. And much of it was online.
Yeah. People nowadays, if they don't know about matchmaking, they'll think online, okay, it's easy. There's so many people. But if you go by, say, my criteria, which is you're going to be compatible in 3 ways with 5 must-haves. Another big mistake singles make, they'll have 20 must-haves.
Absolutely. Oh,
You
how
can't
true.
do that.
How true
So
is that?
if you go online with those 20 must-haves, no one's going to tell you this isn't going to work.
Right.
So either you're going to settle or you're going to be in a relationship that you might be looking for a committed relationship, but that person isn't.
Isn't, right.
And you're never going
You're
to
never
know
gonna
until at least 6 months it takes to find out if you're compatible.
And what about the red flags of online dating?
There's so many.
I mean, if you see the same picture of the person all the way down, assuming another identity.
There's just so many mistakes that people make with online dating. So if there was a way that it could be safe, I would recommend it all the time, because I know I can't be for everyone.
Right,
And
right. And some people are okay with online,
Yes.
once in a while dating and not a serious relationship.
Because if you're not looking for a committed relationship, you don't need me. You can go online.
But I don't like the bars. After I read Looking for Mr. Goodbar
Right.
and saw the movie, that scared me.
Yeah, well,
I have to
there's
tell you,
so
that
many
really did.
scary stories, and
True.
unfortunately, we're the ones that hear all the horror
Right,
stories, and
right.
they're just getting worse and worse and worse. So, just the fact that we say on the phone, we are doing a felony check. You know how many times we hear click?
Really?
Yeah.
I could hear if you're married and they do that, but a felony check.
It's just there's
Oh, that's
just way too many
unbelievable.
stories about that. But
Unbelievable.
and again, just we like to bring out the positivity, the love, and when people are ready for the committed relationship, that's
And
when
you're
I
right.
could help
That's
them.
exactly right. And they both have to be
And
ready
if they
for it.
don't want that, then be on the internet. But just you
Absolutely.
have to be so safe. You have to tell people where you're going. You have to do some sort of check on your
Absolutely.
own.
You're
You
right.
cannot go out with a total stranger.
And maybe not dinner the first night. Maybe a cup of coffee if you don't drink, or a drink, but not too many drinks.
And that's on the internet. Here, we have everything in guidelines just to make dating so much easier.
See, that is
So
easy.
just say, try to go out 3 times.
Love that.
And just go out
Right.
for a lunch or brunch on the weekend. Simple.
Oh, I do like that a lot. Now, what about people saying, he's not my type, or she, I only like blondes, I only like, she has to be petite. I've actually heard guys say that.
Yep.
I want a petite or
All
I
the
want a
time.
blonde.
So you
What do
want to
think?
know what I do?
What do you do?
Stop!
You do.
I say, you're 5. You just listed 20. And the more theatrical I am, first of all, it makes me laugh.
right,
It
and it
makes
makes
me
them come.
love what I
Right,
do
right.
so much. I work every single day, as you know.
Yes, I do.
And that's my
Always busy.
choice.
Right.
You know, my family works with me. I have someone at every single shift working with me.
with you. Wow.
Even my 9 p.m. to midnight shift is my brother in Texas with her
Oh, he's
iPad.
adorable. He's so fun.
Oh my gosh, he's
But
so
I
great.
do, also have to ask you, when is it time to hit the serious topics? Give you an example. Breast cancer survivor.
Yeah.
And I was widowed. Now, it's not the kind of thing on a second date, first
Yes,
date, you're
no.
going to say, hi, my name is GAIL and I had cancer.
And that's private, and a person is
Wait,
not
yeah.
privy to your private information
Right.
in the beginning. Now, when you start developing feelings and you know you're compatible and you're starting to feel chemistry and you start talking
it's
about
important.
being committed to one another, that's when that person deserves to get to know you more and more, and you unpeel the layers and you see step by step how much that person does care about you, because at that point that person's going to say, you had breast cancer? Wow, that's amazing. You're so
Right,
strong.
right, I didn't see,
wow.
that's beautiful.
Whereas you say that on a first
Oh,
date,
no.
before chemistry develops, the person's gone.
Or if the person only likes the way you look and is turned
Right.
off by
Yes.
it, that
Right.
happened
And
to me.
again.
That happened to me after I had died of cancer many, many years ago. And I remember my father saying, that's a gift if somebody
Yes.
says to you, I can't handle it.
Right.
Because he wasn't really invested in you.
Yes.
He was invested in what you look
Right.
like. And he exactly told me that.
Yeah.
And instead
That's
of me
great
feeling
advice.
bad, my father said, I think it's fabulous.
Yeah.
You will meet the person
Yes.
who will see it as a red badge of courage.
Exactly,
And will admire
yes.
you for it.
Right.
So, but that's an interesting topic. And we're talking about cancer, but we could be talking about other serious issues. But I have
Men
to mention,
have health issues too. So
Absolutely.
I always say to women, especially, we're both advocates for breast cancer.
Yes, yes.
So women will come in and they'll say, how do I say that to a
Yeah.
man? Because I don't feel confident yet being intimate. And I
Right.
say, first of all,
not ready.
at 45 and above,
Yeah.
when you're ready to take it to the next level, that man, I'm sure, has some sort of medical issue
Situation
or
as
scar
well, or problem.
that he is
See,
feeling the
that's
same
I love
way.
that
So
one. You're
stop
right.
being so hard on yourselves.
Right.
If you are a breast cancer survivor, I personally will help you to the umpteenth level to get to the point of finding love where you'll have confidence in yourself, because you have to love yourself.
People need to hear that, even if it's common sense. They
Yeah,
need
it's
to
common
hear it
sense,
because you're
but-
dating.
Yes.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention how much you do for other people as well. I know for breast cancer, you have something with women.
Yes.
You have helped veterans and
Yes,
single
yes.
fathers.
Thank you.
That's
Yes.
important to
So breast cancer
indicate.
is just very near and dear to my heart,
Mm-hmm.
being a survivor for the past 8 years. So every year we have a breast cancer charity event called Finding Love at MTN Matchmaking After Kissing Cancer Goodbye. So this year we selected a winner, like we always do every year. However, there were 2 women that it came down to these 2 women.
my gosh.
We could not pick.
Oh,
first time ever we said, it's a tie. You both are winning the
That's
high-end
fabulous.
membership.
That's beautiful.
So,
Beautiful.
yeah, we're really excited
And people
about
contributed
that.
gifts. They
Yes.
went above and beyond.
So just say if you're a business owner, just say if you would like to do something for breast cancer. We
That'd
do
be
have
great.
2 lovely ladies that have won the membership.
See, that's wonderful. I love hearing that. It's so positive, and it makes you feel good about it.
Yes.
All right. Now, do men look for different things than in a relationship than women do? And I have to call to mind, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. And that was John Gray who wrote that many years ago.
Yep.
And he said we look at things differently. I remember the one key point is that women want to talk about it and men want to solve your problems.
Right.
And how frustrating it is. And it's still true today.
Yes.
So what do men look for as opposed to what women look for? If you can say that.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
And actually, this is kind of a mistake that people make. So I would like to bring this part up.
Very good.
So men typically will make the mistake of saying, I want someone beautiful, blanket statement,
It's
because
looks.
men are so visual.
Right,
Whereas
right.
ladies, they're coming to me, they know, okay, I'm not doing the internet, everyone has to be financially stable,
right.
they're financially stable. I want a man successful.
Oh, is that
so
the truth?
now
That's so true.
those 2 things typically are number 1 on a man's list and a woman's list. But what my job is to get people to realize that the right person that's compatible to you with your 5 must-haves, that should be the only thing you're concerned with.
Right.
And
Right.
after the pandemic, I have said very vocally on my Friday Facebook Lives, which, by the way, is very silly. There is no, when you brought it up, that was so kind of you, what you said about it. It really is just for fun. I make fun of it all the time. My brother Brian gets so mad at me for that.
The other aspect is that you want to start dating after a breakup, whether it is just dating, if it's a marital breakup. How do we handle that?
I am a big believer in life is too short. So I don't believe in a lot of ladies will be in a relationship, the man will break up with her, he's moved on, and she's home
stuck.
wallowing in her sadness, crying, maybe calling us up saying, I'm going to give myself 3 months to heal, and then I'll start looking for someone. No,
Get out
not
there.
on my watch.
Good,
No,
good.
life is too short.
Get out there.
He's moved on. If you're compatible and you have chemistry, jackpot, that's all you need. So don't waste time. And if you feel that you need some healing, go to a therapist. That's what therapists do. And you can start dating as you're going through therapy. And that's great.
It's interesting that when you're younger, it's probably mostly based on chemistry, what somebody looks like. And as you mature, I think then you start to realize.
Well, hopefully.
I hope you
that's
start
the
to
goal of what I try to do every single
I
day,
hope.
Gail. But again, there will be people all the time that will come in and say, okay, they have to look a certain way. And I'll say, remember, you have the 5 things.
That's
So-
why I shared with you what happened to me in geometry. I'm going to share
Yes,
that too.
yeah,
because
that's great.
I will change the name because we're both still living on the island. When
Oh my God.
John walked into my geometry class, geometry what? All I could see was this guy walking and then he sat behind me. That was torture. And I was an honest student. Suddenly, I didn't care about geometry, I didn't care about anything. It was wild. The
Right.
hormones were in effect. It was 10th grade. And he didn't even notice me that year. I just wasn't with it, not his type. Now we fast forward to college a few years later. He comes into the student union. I'm there. And he came over and he smiled. And this was Woodstock time. Nobody really talked. I
Right.
think we grunted. And
See,
that
the
was about
smile
it.
was the key.
The smile.
And that's all you
Absolutely.
have to do, ladies.
Yep.
Smile.
Perfect. And he said, go out, let's go out. I said, he grunted, let's go out. So we went to a movie. We went out to eat afterwards at the diner for an English muffin. Got to the diner. Oh my God, I just wanted to stare at him. Nothing was coming out of his mouth that meant anything to me. And it was just, don't talk, let me just look at you.
That is strictly chemistry only.
Oh my God, I mean, he's still to this day the most gorgeous man I've ever
Right.
seen. I'm sure he probably still is. But in any event, I learned very quickly it had a lot to do with other aspects.
So everyone should write a list of what their top 5 must-haves are.
There you are.
Because you need to know what you're looking for when you're entering the dating field, whether again after, as we said,
Well,
a
what about
divorce or
after
so on.
a death of a spouse? That's a difficult situation.
It is difficult,
It is.
but luckily nowadays many people have had that talk, and that just makes your life so much easier.
Okay.
If you've had the talk and your spouse has said, I don't want you to be alone, I want you to move on.
Right.
If that's the case, you're never going to replace the person. God gives us more than one soulmate.
Right.
I matched my own father up after my
I
mother
read that.
died.
That
They
was
were married 50
amazing.
years.
Amazing.
Wonderful marriage, 6 kids.
Oh,
I'm the youngest.
beautiful,
My
beautiful.
family was furious with me in the beginning. They said, how
Really?
dare
How
you?
could you? Right.
Mom.
No, life's too short.
But I just knew my father needed more. So it took
yes.
me 3 matches, found him Lynn.
Oh, isn't
and
that
my father
fabulous?
started traveling
Oh,
all
that's
across the
wonderful.
world with Lynn. And then when my family saw how happy he was,
I
they
love
all
that. That's
said
a beautiful
this, I'm
story.
sorry. So that's why I love working with my seniors.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
Yes.
You
But
do?
again,
Okay, just
that
curious.
is chemistry. So we just have to hope that you will be compatible.
Okay. Now, what about, they say you marry into a family,
Yeah.
that becomes your family. What if you're not sure the in-laws, there's not always happiness there?
Right. Well, again, family dynamics is huge, and a lot of our clients just happen to be family oriented,
Thank
and that's
goodness.
a wonderful thing.
It is
so
great. It's great.
if you yourself are financially stable and all of that, you pass our screening process, and one of your 5 must-haves is to be family oriented,
I love that.
then you're set. But one of the things I've said since the pandemic is, ladies, one of your 5 must-haves should now be handy. Because after the pandemic, many single ladies were stuck at home saying, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this.
Was that the most busy time for you, the pandemic,
We actually,
because of loneliness?
sadly, we would have people calling us up saying, I don't want to die alone.
Right.
But I will
That's
say
great.
it has brought such happiness to people, because now it's the easiest time to find love, because
Yes.
people are not putting off love now.
Right,
With the
right. Now they're
pandemic,
ready.
they realize, I'm not going to put it off, even though I'm nervous. Everyone's nervous with dating, but don't be. Just realize that life is too short, and there is or people out there that you will be compatible
What
with.
did you learn about yourself, the most significant thing in the last 20 years?
That my passion is truly my family and my 2 children,
beautiful.
and
Very
my
nice.
business helping people find love. It just gives me such great pleasure and happiness.
And it shows, and it shows.
Thank you.
Do you have a book coming out?
I had a book 8 years ago that they said, okay, you're a published author. The next day, they said, I'm sorry, our legal department bounced it back. Because I changed people's names of the different companies that I started with. So I have to tame it down, or I have to change the names more. But now, that was 8 years ago. Look at how much more
Look
things.
how much has happened.
And really, I'm devoting so much time to getting all of our clients successful, because we have 2,000 clients now.
It's amazing.
And we're at the point that just the same amount of people that are going on hold, getting married, getting engaged, or about just as many people coming in.
Wow,
So people sometimes have said, how does it stay at 2,000? Well, this is what they say, you must stink at what you do. I heard, you know how everyone has haters? I have a hater that literally said, she stinks. She always has 2,000. Well, they're not the same 2,000 people. We're just very blessed that a lot of people come in, not everyone, and a lot of people are successful.
All right, where can we find you? And your last comment before we close.
mtnmatchmaking.com, or you can call 1-888-31-MATCH. And I guess in closing, dating, people get nervous. But especially now with the pandemic, don't let that stop you, because we will help you. And it's so much easier now after the pandemic because people are not as picky, selective, in a good way. They're
In a
not
good way.
settling,
No.
but they're not unrealistic like they were before.
think that's it,
and they're not
unrealistic, right.
procrastinating. So people are ready for love.
nice.
So if you're looking for a committed relationship, we can and will help you.
Thank you, Maureen Tara.
Thank you.
Not Tara. Maureen Tara. That's a private joke.
Yes, I'm
Maureen
so impressed
Tara
you know
Nelson.
that. Oh my gosh.
Thank you,
You know I
Maureen.
love you
Terrific.
to death. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
having me.
Pleasure.